Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. One of the questions that we're commonly being asked is what's the difference between the Arabic Accelerated program and Arabic Journey? So I thought I'd record this very short video just to explain that difference, inshallah. So hopefully it clarifies things. Arabic Accelerated is our flagship Arabic program. It's a 1 year program. What that means is it runs for sacred text. That's an academic year of 40 weeks. It's roughly between 7 and 9 weeks on and 1 week off. 5 terms altogether. What that does is it gives students to refresh regularly rather than doing extended periods of study and then taking a week or two off. It is a live class, which means whether you choose the online or in-person class, that means there is, so if you're online, it means there is a teacher that's directly addressing and focused on the online student. So it's a very personalized experience. It's not that you're a fly on the wall listening in on a live classroom session. So this is a live experience where the teacher is focused entirely on you as an online student, and it's something we're doing this for the first time this year. In previous years it's been a fly on the wall type session, and we thought actually there's a lot we need to focus more on our online students and improve that experience. So we decided this year that actually we're going to do it as a separate class altogether. And during lockdown, when we did our classes, we found it's far more better and far more interactive if we can solely focus on you as our students. So if you choose the online class, it means there will be a dedicated teacher focused on you, and all rules apply. It's still 40 weeks. It's still 7 to 9 weeks on, 1 week off. So that's the Arabic Accelerated program. In terms of subject matter, you'll study morphology, you'll study grammar, which is syntax, and you'll study lots and lots of vocabulary. You'll do the equivalent of a degree level Arabic course. Yes, it's quite intensive, but it's also very enjoyable. Hopefully you'll have a good experience with the teacher. We tend to have, of course, have our formal session, but we also have a bit of a breakout and have discussions, and a lot of learning happens through discussions. And a part of Arabic Accelerated, we study an anthology where we go through a number of different stories to kind of really build up your application and usage of Arabic. We do a bit of writing, some basic writing, just to get you again thinking in Arabic, and the best way to do that is to start writing. If you can write coherently, if you can think coherently, you can write coherently. So that's the idea. Arabic Journey, on the other hand, is, although it bears a lot of similarity to Arabic Accelerated, in that again it's quite a comprehensive course. It is we teach morphology, we teach grammar, and we teach language. So in that respect, it's very similar to Arabic Accelerated. The key differences are, number one, that Arabic Journey is not a live class. It's pre-prepared, pre-recorded. We've spent hundreds of hours putting together a portal where and very and dedicated material which covers the whole journey. They've been wonderfully pre-recorded by one of our teachers, Ustadha Anika Arshad, who's been going through them meticulously. It's pre-recorded, which means you can do it in your own time, at your own leisure. So it's not that you have to be logged in at any given period of time. You can choose to do it however you want. If you're somebody who kind of cluster learns, does lots of learning, and then takes some time off, then that works for you. Go for it. If you're somebody who likes to be very regimented in how you study, you have the option to do it that way. It's completely and totally up to you. You have access to the Arabic Journey modules for 12 months, and I think it's 12 months or maybe a bit more than 12 months. So you have access to it, so you can use them at your leisure. Each lesson is about 10 to 15 minutes long, so that you're not staring at a computer listening to somebody for too long periods of time. So it's there to make it as accessible and as easy as possible, and particularly for people who like to, if you're doing your own study where you're not being directed by a teacher, then one way to keep motivated is to kind of really break it up and form those habits. The other benefit of Arabic Journey is that we've really priced it very low compared to any of our nearest competitors, and the reason for that is we want to make Arabic accessible to anybody and everybody. So it's really we've put a lot of work in, hundreds of hours in fact, and we've made it as accessible to everybody as possible. Now, If you choose to go the Arabic journey way, then you will study Arabic grammar and everything that I've said. One big advantage, and I guess one focus point of Arabic journey, is to connect it to the Quran as quickly as possible. So it's solely focused on the Quran. All the language, all the examples, everything is taken from the Quran. You go through a lot of Quran in that module. In fact, every lesson you'll probably go through at least 10 verses, so let's say between 5 and 10 verses. So in those 10 or 15 minutes, we're constantly taking you back to the Quran, and the aim is by the end of that module, the Arabic journey, you would have covered a lot of Quran. You're very familiar with the vocabulary. We endeavor to cover about 70% of all the words in the Quran. And when it comes to verbs, we teach you 95% of all verbs in the Quran. So it mobilizes you very quickly. We teach a lot of vocabulary, and it's not done in a way where it's overwhelming. It's very light, and hopefully you'll find that when you study the modules. The first module is called Mastering Verbs, and it's based on the 80-20 rule. We teach you the scales that appear most often in the Quran, and we leave the stuff that doesn't appear very regularly. Grammar is again 80-20. We focus on those concepts that you absolutely need to know to be able to engage the Quran very quickly, and the vocabulary, we go with the high impact vocabulary. So that's one of the differences between Arabic journey and Arabic accelerated. The Arabic journey is it's pre-recorded. It's the materials ready in a portal that you can access at any time. Number two, it's focused entirely on the Quran, and we go on the 80-20 rule. And the bits that we miss out, you can find in Arabic Accelerated. So that's more comprehensive in that it covers everything, even the stuff that probably doesn't appear as commonly in the Quran. And the final thing I want to say is, if you choose to go with the Arabic Accelerated live year-long course, you're not missing out on Arabic journey. We've made a point this year of making it free to all of our Arabic Accelerated students. So if you choose Arabic Accelerated, you have Arabic journey absolutely for free. If you choose to go with the Arabic journey module for whatever reason, maybe it fits your lifestyle more, then we priced it in such a way, hopefully, that everyone can afford it, inshallah, and it's accessible to you. So I hope that answers people's questions about the differences between those two courses. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.